Flavor is this: within 2 to 3 generations, all wealth is gone. Because one generation builds it, the next pass it down to them, then they try to do their best with it, but the following generation fuck it up. That's the Chinese equivalent, I think, right? And it finishes. And that's because they pass down wealth. I don't do that. I built a family office for them to be the stewards of the wealth. But this stuff doesn't work unless this happens. This stuff doesn't work unless this happens. This doesn't work unless we get work on your business and get you off the fucking roof, right? And that doesn't work unless we start this. You don't have to be there yet. I've only been here for about 8 years now. But here's the North Star. Because if someone's sitting in the room right now as a 1, that's your North Star. If you're a 2, that's your North Star. If you're a 3, you're here at the moment, right? This is your North Star. We can build this and we can do this because that's the big game. That's the game to get to. And I'm here to tell you that having a roofing business in Sydney is actually part of the process. It's a step towards where you can get to. And I had to work this out for myself because no one was going out there and sharing and teaching it, which is why I get out there and I do it. Does that make sense to you? You learned something so far today?
Yep.
All right, let's give Mitch a round of applause, everybody. All right, well done. Who learned something from that? Give me a show of hands. Who learned something from that so far? Okay. So, I mean, I tried to go through a bit of a quick version of it, but who likes to see when I start to apply it to stuff? Give me a show of hands that starts to make sense to you, right? So this is anyone get excited by this? Can I get a show of hands? Was that too much today? Is that all right? I don't really like to talk about some of this stuff sometimes because it's a lot for people, but I'll tell you this, I don't care where you're at right now, this is the North Star. Because the opportunity is there. The opportunity to be able to go out there and create is there. The limit is going to be how much you limit yourself to what you think is truly possible. Because you might be sitting there right now worrying about cash flow or team members or whatever. I hear you. I get it. But that current reality is not your destination. You're just on the path to where you're going to go. You see, when I meet people all over the world, and I've been trying to help people for a long time, by the way, who's learned a lot so far today? You learned a lot so far? Give me a show of hands, right? When I teach this to people around the world, here's what I've worked out. I've worked out is that most business owners, right? Most business owners stay stuck even when they're smart because of this. They're working harder, but it's not compounding, right? Or they're busy, but they're not actually building real leverage. Or they don't lack motivation. Like, you're here all day. I don't think you lack motivation. I think you lack connected systems on what do I do? Because even if you are, let's go, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to get anywhere, right? You're making decisions without a proven framework. You see, when you have a proven framework of what to do, you can make decisions that make sense, that move you forward. And you know you're capable of more than what you're currently doing. I want to ask you an honest question. Who thinks, by a show of hands, you're actually more capable than what you're currently doing? Give me an honest show of hands, right? Give me a show of hands. Keep it up nice and high for honesty. Right, have a look around. Look around, you're in a room where 99% of people are putting their hand up saying, I can do more. And I'll tell you this, from me to you, there has never been an even better time, easier, faster, or better time to be an empire building. You just need to learn how. You know, I was recently having a look at some of my students because I get really buzzed by what they do, more than what I do. And I was looking at some of the stuff recently, and I want to show you a few recent people just like you that I've been working with, that I personally helped with exactly the stuff that I showed Mitch, right? Let me give you a couple of people. So I remember I met Hayley, not a business owner, never been in business in her whole life. She worked for a huge corporate for about 20 years, making really good money. She was afraid to leave, never been in business. She came, she hung out with me, and I taught her some of the stuff that I did over here over 4 days. And now, she quit her corporate job, she launched a brand new business, and last month she did $80,000 in her business. And now she's got 5 businesses. So she started 2, she's bought 1, and she's done 2 equity deals. So she has equity in 2, she started 2, and she's bought 1. She has 5. Her empire is growing, and that's in the last 9 months. All these guys, James and Kiri, they're in dog grooming. Anyone love their dogs so much they cut their hair? Like proper cut it, like proper groom? Yeah, it's a whole thing, right? I live in Bayside in Melbourne, they fucking love pets. More than children, right? So these guys, so James is quite a well-known groomer, cuts hair. So what's his problem? His problem is that he gets paid a lot to cut some hair. But how do I scale that? He can't cut two dogs at once. You with me? Maybe you can, but that probably HR problem or something, I don't know, right? So he can't. So I said to him, we need to do something different. So we expanded out into retail, into education, a whole bunch of stuff. And here's what happened, right? We went from the dog grooming and education, we went back, I'll go forward back here. We bought two businesses. So he wanted to expand from there in Brisbane. They wanted to expand down to Melbourne. And he said, Aaron, should we start a company? I said, don't start a business. Let's do this. We went and found another dog grooming company, and they had education as well. We negotiated to buy both businesses. It was a groomer and an educator in Melbourne with no money down. It was worth about $800,000. And they bought it with no money down. Then they grew their Brisbane business by $1 million. We got James out of the business, right? Then they actually scaled internationally. Apparently dog grooming is massive in India. Who the fuck would have known? I have no idea. Huge, right? So they went and expanded over there, and they're crushing it in India with dog grooming, right? And they're also finalists for the Australian of the Year Business Awards in the last times. Even intellectual property, see these scissors? He created these because he wanted to build his own scissors that cut hair really well or something. So what I did is I helped him get the IP and patent on this. Now, that's another product line. Those scissors are sold all over the world. So that's another income stream, isn't it? Right? So now he's selling scissors that he owns the IP for all over the world, plus he's got several locations. So it's expanding him out from cutting hair. He might get paid $350 to cut some hair, but you can't retire if you're the person doing all the stuff to get paid. Make sense? So we had to expand out of that, right? Or Laura, this is Laura. So Laura is in corporate gifting. We grew a startup to $1 million. Then she wanted to expand to Sydney. So I said, don't start in Sydney, let's go buy. So we found a business in Sydney doing $5 million. We bought it without having to use any of our own cash. It's fully under management with no money down deal. So now she's got $1 million business in Melbourne, a $5 million business in Sydney, and without going too deep into it, but when you have 1 + 3 at +6, it doesn't equal 7. The more you expand and the more you buy in other states, your actual valuation goes up. So her businesses are not worth 6, they're actually worth 9. Because she has 2 locations and 2 systems. Without going into that private equity stuff, but that's how it works. And she's a huge horse rider, loves equestrian horse riding, so she still chases her own passions. I remember when I met Michael. Michael was so burnt out because he's in some really challenging industries. He's in contracting, asbestos, earthworks, and he's just over it. Making some good money, but the kind of person who's giving his entire life to make some money, and we had to rework it. So here's what we did. We went from 2.5 million to 8.6 million in 12 months. He booked a 5-star family holiday, bought a business with no money down, and then he flipped it and sold it for 4 times that 90 days later. And my favourite thing about him has got nothing to do with money. He went from exhausted and ready to quit to re-engage and happier than ever before. Lost, 30, 40 kilos, built a house of his dreams with his family, and he's just living this really great life now, and he's no longer having to be on the roof. Right? He's no longer quoting, and he used to quote everything. And now he's living a life by design because he did something different, right? Or I remember when I worked with Carly and Matt. These guys are in software, and it's a business that's evolved quite a lot. And I helped them to be able to do a couple of things. They grew the software from 4 people to 20 people, even more turnover and profit than ever before. And I helped them to raise capital and get some investors as well. And now they're living their best life. I remember Janet, so Janet's a great story. Janet was in her 60s and never been in business before, and she had her auntie that was in palliative or home care, not palliative, end-of-life care in home, and she had a terrible experience. She went, it was terrible, my auntie wasn't looked after, I want to do something different, but what am I supposed to do? I'm in my 60s, can I really start a business? And I said, absolutely, let's do it. So in her 60s, we started the business. Fast forward 2 years now, she's doing $3 million a year. She has a team of 50. The business is under management, so she's the number 3, which is allowing her to go into other ventures. She's now 72. I've taken her in the last 3 years to America, to Dubai, and to Singapore to expand. She's the best granny you've ever seen, right? She's crushing it. And she, talk about like family legacy, her grandkids are looking at her going, wow. In your late 60s, she was a teacher for 40 years. She changed her life in her late 60s, and now she's living not just money, she's showing them another path in her family. Really love what she's done. Or I remember Anthony. Anthony worked for like a Kennard's hire place where you hire like jackhammers and bobcats and stuff. And he went and said, I want to start a business. We started the business. We went from 20,000 a month to 115K a month. We increased the revenue by an extra $1 million. And get this, in his business, business, one of the challenges is getting the equipment. So he hires the equipment out. So I said, we need to find who manufactures the equipment. So we found who manufactures the equipment he was renting out. We approached them, they were a bit burnt out, they were a bit over it, and they wanted to sell the business. We bought it for $18 million with no cash down. Now he owns a manufacturing company, he owns the retail business, and it's enabled him to expand to other areas because he owns a manufacturer now. That was his first acquisition, $18 million, right? Because he had a framework. Or I remember when I met Christine. Christine was already successful before I met her, $25 million business. But we doubled it, almost. We went to $45 million from 25. She went from being a 2 to a 3, and she's now crushing it. She now lives overseas. She's crushing it as well. Or Dr. Chang, she's a doctor. She's still a doctor. She wanted to be a doctor. She's like, Aaron, I don't want to quit being a doctor, but I want to do something else, not just be an anaesthetist. I want to do something else. So I said to her, give me a big dream, right? She said, I'd love to own a hospital. I was like, well, give me like a smaller dream, like a mini, like a GP clinic or something, right? She goes, no, I have a hospital. Like, so it took us a couple of months, we're searching, and we came across a hospital that we thought would make sense. It's a 48-bed, like a day surgery hospital in WA. Wasn't for sale, so it's not like a big for sale sign. You know, there's never a for sale sign up in front of places. You negotiate. So we called up and we spoke to them, we found this out. The business is actually worth about $6 million, but there was a bit of debt, and the owner was motivated because they're going through a separation themselves and they wanted to be able to get rid of the hospital, right? So we structured a $3 million deal to take the business over. So it's worth 6, we bought it for 3, right? So already we've made 3 million. Then they wanted a bit of cash up front. And she wanted to put the money in because I told her not to. So she brought other investors on to put the cash up front, other doctors. She had to put $1 in, that's it. And she's a 51% majority shareholder of the business worth $6 million with none of her own cash, and she brought other investors along the way to do it. So she's a majority shareholder with none of her own money, and she still works full-time in anaesthetist, right? Why? Choose your own adventure. Whatever you want to do, you get to choose your own adventure. Or Adam. Adam actually owns an ASX listed company in Australia, so it's called Veris, worth about $200 million. He came to me and said, Aaron, can you help me? We want to do acquisitions and stuff. So here's what we did. We navigated the sharp share price drop. We got it back to where it needs to be. We built the vision. We brought on new leaders. We did an 8-figure merger. We assembled a bunch of investors, and we put together a 9-figure global expansion plan. And he's a mad surfer. So his goal said to me, Aaron, I don't care what we do, but morning and night, I want to surf with my son. That's my goal. I want to wake up and surf. And before it gets dark, I want to surf every day. So we had to build an entire lifestyle around his surfing schedule, right? And he did. And then we helped him buy a business for about $8 million with no money down. Then after a year or two, they didn't need the business anymore. So they sold the same business to Telstra for $30 million cash. And they cleared all the debt in the business and grew. Obviously, Telstra didn't do much with it because they still fuck up stuff, right? But he was able to do that. Or one of my other students, Boone, he's from Singapore, and this is the message he sent me. Hey Aaron, remember the deal I was talking to you about in Malaysia? We're negotiating the deal and I came to you for advice. I followed exactly what you told me to do. I'm signing the contract in this week. I love it. How much is the deal worth? $960 million. A massive thank you for all the years believing and molding me to where I am today. This deal solidifies why you might want to only mental bang. I love it. That's me, that's Boone, that's his wife, this is Singapore, that's chili crabs. I love chili crabs. He thinks I like him, I don't. I like chili crabs. The only reason I still mentor him. It's the only reason I go to Singapore, right? You know what? You're not going to do $1 billion after I teach you. When I met him, he had owned a nail salon, like nails, 12 years ago. And I said, why? He said, to pick up chicks. To be fair, it worked. I don't know, right? What do you say in a nightclub? Do you want a full set? Like, what do you say? I don't know. But apparently it worked. Now, 12 years later, we built a really massive construction company that's crushing it, right? And so that was one deal that he did. So yeah, this is 12 years later. And you know what's really cool? Besides all them doing their own cool stuff, my students actually work together and have a look at these stats. This is, I was saying, do you want to look at the stats on the break? I looked at the stats. This is the last year alone. Check this out, right? Together, they've done over 1,560 no money down acquisitions this year alone. If anyone's acquiring businesses, it's because I've taught them what to do, which I'm really proud of. And over 2,000 profitable startups. This is just the students alone. Then together, they've done a whole bunch of stuff together. They've actually partnered. Look at the stats recently. In the last 3 years, my community have partnered on $5.5 billion worth of deals. You know, we talk about the solar and the roofing, like that. They've done $5.5 billion in Australia, partnering together in the last 3 years, which is super cool, which I'm really proud of, because I never thought I'd be able to impact people like that. But I tell you what, the future's yours. You've just got to start doing this stuff. I'm just here to pass it on. Because let me ask you a question. Has anyone learned anything of great value so far today? Give me a show of hands. Give me a yes if that's you. So for me, it's about passing it on. That's all I want to do. You know, for me, I didn't come from much, as you know. My wife as well, she's an immigrant from Europe. She came when she was 2. Typical story. Parents had nothing, you know, starting from scratch. So we both were poor, had nothing. So we said, when we get some, we want to start to do more. And so our charity, we've been able to donate a huge amount of money for charities over the years and work together. But it only happened because we were able to go out there and do something different. Recently, we bought something for the Monash Health Foundation, something for the Children's Emergency Ward, and working with our students to do that. You know, my goal was just to try and become more so I can help more. Because I think if we can become more, thank you. I think if we can become more, we can help more, right? I think it starts with us, right? So I'm here, Sydney, because here's the thing. No one teaches this. You go to every conference in the whole fucking world. No one will teach this, because everyone doing it can't be bothered. They can't. That's the reality, right? But I can be bothered because I sat there in your chair, and I'm only here because somebody else poured into me. So I'm here because I want to help you be able to personally start, build, grow, and scale, and do it properly. Right? But because of my time, I can't do it all the time, but I want to help, right? Who likes the idea of doing it? Who wants to do this together? Who thinks it'd be fun to do together? Give me a show of hands. Who likes the idea, right? Let me tell you what I can do to help you, because I always get this question every time I come and speak. If you want me to help you build your empire, there's only one way I can do it. I have to help you personally. I have to sit with you, we have to do it, and it takes me 4 days. 4 days to go through everything step by step. So 4 days, in person, in real life, with me, to do this together. Who thinks that'll be kind of fun to hang out and do this? Give me a show of hands, you like that idea, right? So here's how it would work. I want to personally help you build your empire. The only way I know how to do that is to work with you and show you how to do it properly. I'm not talking about a little bit of this, a little bit of this. I'm talking about me showing you how to do it with others that are trying to be on the same path. I want to invite you to something called Empire Mastery. It's the world's only and the world's best experience at building empires. People fly in from all over the world to do this with me, and I do it right here in Australia. I want to invite you to hang out and be a part of this, right? Empire Mastery is 4 days where I will personally show you what to do. It goes over 4 days, and it looks like this. So day number 1 is called the Breakthrough Day. The Breakthrough Day is where we go through everything you need to work on personally to get clear on where you're at and where you need to go. How do you evolve yourself? We're talking about clarity around your business, know what's holding you back, and to get you ready for massive growth. The second day is called the Money Day, right? So the Money Day is where I go deep on all the things on how you start to make more money. Sales, marketing, everything. Everything to do with money making, I spend an entire day doing it. Then once we've nailed that, we look at the scale part. So how do we start to scale? So how do we look at partnerships? How do we look at leveraging? How do we look at optimization? How do we remove you as a bottleneck from the business so we can start to scale? How do we get your model right in your business so we can scale? Then my favorite day is the Empire Day. So how do we start through the empire? How do we start to do multiple businesses? And even if you're not ready yet to sell, how do you get your business ready to sell if you're thinking about selling? I'm going to show you how to do all of that. So if I deep dive into what Empire Mastery looks like, it's worth 10,000. Let me show you what it looks like. So I'll show you instant money-making strategy you can apply right away, not theory, and it's me showing you. I take you through this. I show you what to do. I'll show you how to build the exact empire mindset you need to scale without burning out. I've had to learn that myself to run my companies without burning out. How do I do it? I'll show you how to find and close new deals right away. So where do you find these deals? How do you do it? I'm going to show you, even if you're time poor. I'm going to show you my personal partnership and deal-making playbook. So, you know, when we talk to our solar friend, how you would do that as a process. I show you the process to create profitable partnerships as well. I'll also show you the future business trends to act now before you're left behind. One of the things I love is that in day 2 in the morning, we actually build a whole bunch of AI businesses there, and then we actually show what you can do live, and we do it at the end. You actually get to do some stuff live. It's really, really cool. I'll also show you proven frameworks to stay ahead of the market, because right now it's about speed. How do you stay ahead? And I'll show you 19 income streams inside one business. So every business that you have can build 19 income streams. Right? If we plug in even just 10 in 3 businesses, that's 30 ways you make money. That's how I've done it across all my businesses, right? I'll also show you billionaire time management system to get your time back. So how do I run all these companies, stay partly sane, have children, have friends? How do I do all of that? I'll show you. I'll also show you, you know how I showed you this at the very beginning? I showed you the plays that we can run at the very start. This is the start, buy, and equity. These are 3 plays. This actually breaks that into 9. There's 9 empire plays. And I show you that. All 9 plays simplified down. I show you to go from no. So if you're in the room, you don't have a business at all, that's okay. We build businesses live on day 2. If you're already in business right now, well, we're going to grow a whole bunch more off the back of it, just like I showed live with Mitch on stage. So I'll take all the guesswork out of it. If you want to sell your business, I give you my blueprint on how I sell. I've sold tons of companies, how I sell, what you need to do to maximize your ROI. I'll show you how to build a system that runs without you. I'll show you how to scale a business without having to add more staff and stress. And also show advanced negotiation skills. If you're not a great negotiator, I actually have a whole pillar on training how to negotiate better in deals. I'll also show how to create instant businesses with cash flow from day 1. So actually build new businesses from day 1 that have cash flow immediately. That's on day 4, we go through that. I'll show you how to build predictable waterfall of sales and leads coming in any industry, how to master your mindset so the pressure doesn't break you, how to avoid costly mistakes and wasted time, how to create succession. So for some of you might have kids and grandkids, we have to think about what does succession look like. The stat recently is that 12% of businesses have a succession plan to build over the age of 60. Got to change, right? And this is important, everyone leaves with an empire. So you will leave with your entire empire ready to go. Fully blueprinted, done, ready to go. This isn't just write some stuff down. You actually do this live over the 4 days together. I pour into you. This is very full on. It's over 50 hours of me showing you what to do. Me personally going through it. I do it live, so I don't do it every single weekend because I've got a lot of things in my own personal life, including staying married and having other businesses. So you can come and hang out. The challenge is, there's 1,000 people. I generally do it with less than half because I used to do it with thousands and thousands. I actually prefer doing it with smaller amounts now. So if you're really keen and you want to get 3rd grade coffee, you can go to Brisbane. It is 3rd grade coffee. You can go to Brisbane. I'm going to be there next week. So you're like, Aaron, let's fucking go. We come to Brisbane, right? Next week we're going to be there. End of next week we're doing 23rd to 26th. If you want to have the best coffee in the world, then you can come to Melbourne and have a written off trip to come down to Melbourne. That's going to be the 31st of August to the 3rd of September. Or if you want to stay here, you can. And you can hang out with me on the 16th of November. I don't really care which one you do, but just come to whatever you can. The faster you learn, the faster you can earn, right? So I'll be getting my butt on the plane and doing whatever I can right away. Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, doesn't matter. Grab one of those. And I'll tell you why. The reason why this is important is that every time I teach this, it's sold out. I've done this now, it was counting the other day, I've done this Empire Master, I've run 73 times. 73 empires. I've done this for a long time, right? So every time I do it, it's sold out because no one else teaches it. Why? Here's why everyone comes. Because whatever you invest into this, the reason why you come is because that investment is nowhere near what it costs with trial and error, expensive mistakes, missed opportunities, and work without a framework. Because I compress my decades of learning into days. I'll show you how to do it step by step, move by move. So that's coming to Empire. Now I've got a couple of things I'm going to give you in addition to that. So come to Empire, Brisbane next week, Sydney, Melbourne, up to you, right? But in addition to that, I'm going to give you some stuff that you can take immediately to help you right away. Who in the room really thinks that part of their future, as well as empire building, is going to be buying companies without having to use their own cash? Give me a show of hands, that's you. Okay. I can't teach you that at Empire because it's a whole nother 3 days and it's very specific. Again, you can't just call up, you have to follow a process, right? So what I'm going to do for you is something unique. I'm actually going to give you access to what's called Deal Mastery. It's 3 days on demand, watch at your own pace, where you can learn how to do it and follow along. It's got all the tools, all the templates. It's worth $5,995. I'm going to give that to you as a bonus. It's 15-step GPS that you follow to go and buy a business. So you know those people that bought businesses, 1,560, all of them use this. So you're going to access that, as in like the end of tonight, you're going to get access to that right away. You can watch that even before you come to Empire. And I want to show you this. This is a transaction for one of my students. This is their first transaction they did after Deal Mastery. Have a look at this.
The way to buy our current processing company, including the land and buildings, valuation $25 million with no cash down. Now I've been running that thing for 3.5 years and it's really starting to hit its straps and getting super exciting, which is why we've now been able to launch into our new acquisition. When we first met Aaron, we were both employees doing our thing, and since then, life has changed a hell of a lot. We managed to move ourselves from being employees in our businesses. Kristen, a successful real estate agent, and the company that I was working for, we have now become shareholders of. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we're going to sign the paperwork to be the majority shareholders in. To keep in tradition of things for the business we've bought here, we've put a very small amount of money down up front, the majority of it's been vendor financed again to help us get it back up and running. So we're excited to kick off on another new venture, and all of this being supported by Aaron and the team. We honestly can't hesitate in recommending Aaron enough.
So these guys are both about 30. Daniel and Kristen come. Kristen's a real estate agent. Daniel is working as a labourer in a sawmill where they process timber. He comes to Deal Mastery, he goes back to his job that he had, he turns around to his boss and says, can I buy the business? The first deal he did was buying his company he worked for $25 million with no cash down. These guys are now on their third transaction, they're worth about 100 million and they're crushing it. You know, got their kid, they've been born to a race team, living a life by design because they learned the process and they did it. So, you're gonna learn how to be able to acquire businesses without having to use your own cash. The reason why I teach you that is because if you even have your own cash, you use your cash to grow the business after the transaction. That's why we teach you to do that, right? Now, in addition to this, I've never given this before ever, but I had a bit of a thought about this, and I spoke to Reese before I came out today, and I want to give you something I think is going to really help you. Who knows AI in business is going to be really important for them? Give you a show of hands if you agree with that, right? So I want to support you in that and do something I've never done before. I'm actually going to pay for you to have a membership in Business AI to give you a 90-day fast track on how you can implement AI into your business. I'm going to give you access to the AI Builder community to fast track this stuff in your business. This is the same team that work with my businesses in AI. Now what that means is that you're going to have a community of builders to help you start, build and grow and transfer your business with AI. There's a whole bunch of workshops together, communities together, live training, Q&As, live demos, my entire team working with you in a community to be able to do that. And there's resources and help and tons more, right? It's worth about $4.5 grand. I'm going to give you a 90-day access to fast track your results and do that. I've never given something like that before, but I thought, you know what? I know you need that, so I want to give you some stuff to help you. So you're going to get Deal Mastery, you're going to get the fast track stuff, and for some of you in the room, you're really interested in starting businesses, building them, growing them and scaling them. I built a short course training as well called Start, Build, Grow and Scale short courses. I'm going to give you access to those as well. There's really cool courses. So if you want to start a business, build it, grow it, scale it, even raise capital, it's all inside of that. And that itself is worth about $4,995. Then what I want to also do is I've got some coaches that work with me, like James. All of the coaches that work with me are actually students that have got results. They're students who've actually done it and got results. They also help coach other people. So I'm going to get you to have a session with one of my coaches, and what you're going to do is have an empire strategy session, one-on-one with them, to work out how do you start to build your empire, what you need to do, what some quick chat you can have with, which is worth another $3,995. You're going to have a one-on-one strategy session with one of my coaches on how do you scale and how do you grow. Then I want you to take something home and get started right away, because the results I want you to get are fast, right? So what I'm going to give you is, I've got a quick start that I bought for you today, which is worth about $1,299, and you're going to take this home. It's a little quick start guide. Have you got one for me? Thanks, bud. So you're going to take this home. Thanks, Harry. So it looks like this. You plug the USB in, and inside of this is about an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of training on exactly what to do. before you come to Empire. Immediately, what to do to get results right away. And if you don't know how to use USB, I've got you covered. You'll get an email with a link, so don't worry about it. Right? Some of you are like, what is a USB? Don't worry about it. Got you covered, right? Just take this because it's fun, right? So you're gonna get that as well. So so I'm clear. I'm giving you a bunch of stuff. Why I want you to get the results. The reason why people come to me is that people get results with what I teach more than anybody else. Why? Because I give them everything, I hold their hand, I kick them in the butt, and I show them what to do. So I'm clear, with the Empire Builder package, you'll be able to do all of it. Start businesses, buy businesses, scale businesses, and leverage AI now. So everything you need to be able to build your empire is included in all of that. Everything. I'm giving you everything you need so you can crush it. Because all of this is what I use, which has created all of my success. All the businesses I've built, all the traction I've created is because I've implemented all these systems. Because I'll tell you this, after helping people for 18 years, I've mentored over 700,000 people. From stadiums of 25,000 people to in boardrooms of 4 people. And I'll tell you this, that it works. But let me be really clear, I don't do get rich quick. This isn't do one thing, you make $1 jillion. If you follow a process, you do the work you're supposed to do, you'll get the results. So if you're lazy, don't work with me. If you're hungry, then work. Because it's time to do something. Because the people that have created results have completely changed their life because they've done what they've been asked to do and they've got the results. So if you're hungry, if you're ready and you want more, this is exactly what this does. This creates success that you can go out there and build. Because when you've done that, you can. I've got over 2,000 photos of me standing with a student that have got massive results. Because it works when you implement it and you do it, right? Now, here's one more thing I wanted to give to you. I was thinking about this recently, and I haven't given this before. So you know how the budget came out? And everyone's like, what the fuck does that mean? Give me a show of hands if you're in the same camp as that, right? And then business owners, do we think thumbs up or thumbs down? Right? So everyone's unsure, I get it. So you know what I did recently? I spent $150,000 literally days ago with the best tax advisors in Australia to help me understand what the fuck do I do. That's what I said to them, right? And I had one-on-ones, I had group, and they wrote me, and a whole bunch of stuff. I took everything that they gave me for all that money, and I condensed it down into one simple blueprint. And I'm gonna give it to you, right? It's incredible, because guess what? If you know what to do, this budget can actually work really well for us as business owners. But you have to know what to do, or else it's gonna cost you a lot of money, because there's lots of issues and deadlines that they've put up there, right? So, this is $150,000 of budget advice. I'm going to give you the report that I had paid for how to maximize the new budget, how to build it for immediate action. I built it for immediate action, how to harness all the opportunities. You're going to avoid the cost and mistakes. That's the biggest issue, is all the pitfalls that will happen if you don't get it right. And I've made it into like a simple kind of, literally it's like language that we can understand, and it's simple blueprint. It's worth about, I spent $150,000, but I had to put something on it, worth about $5. You're going to get that as a bonus as well from me. So here's what it looks like. Everything I've given you, check this out. You're gonna come and spend 4 days with Empire Mastery, that's worth $9,995. Deal Mastery is where you learn how to buy businesses no money down, that's worth about $6,000. Start, Build, Grow and Scale short courses. Business AI, learn how to be able to build all the AI into your businesses. A one-on-one call with my team on how do you build your strategy with my coaches. A quick start guide to take home and an Empire Tax Blueprint. Everything you need to go out there and start crushing it, and that's worth about $35,779. Now, because I want to work with you and I want to get to know you right away, let's get started right now. So here's what's going to happen, right? When Lewis comes out shortly and hangs out with us, after that, we've got a VIP session with Lewis and myself, photos, Q&A. He's even going to join us for the Q&A as well, which was on the schedule. We're going to hang out. I want to meet you. So if you do this today, then you're going to be able to come and get a bit of a last minute bonus. You get to come meet Lewis and myself and join the VIPs for a picture, followed by a Q&A with myself and Lewis as well. So that's going to be happening today, right? Right after we hang out today, right? Now, let me ask you a question. What is this going to cost you delaying another year? I'll put it to you this way. You're probably going to do this at some point. You're probably going to learn this at some point. You're probably going to say, okay, let's do this. Okay, you'll probably end up doing it in a year, 2 years. You'll probably do it. But what's it going to cost you to delay? Every single person that wants to build an empire, they come to me because no one else teaches it, right? So what's it going to cost you to delay another year? To say, oh, maybe one day I'll do it. Are you going to miss more revenue in the next 6 months, the next 3 months? Are you going to lose more time? Are you going to have more stress? Are you going to, as well as stress and time, have less cash flow? Will your competitors start adopting faster, right? Will you lose more? Will you have even more lost ground to make up? If you know you need to make a change, every day you delay is just more stress, more problem, more cash flow issues, more competitors. If you know you need to do it, the faster you do it, the faster you can get the benefits, right? So if you're going to probably do it, it's time. So let me give you a smart reason to take action now. I want to do something so you know you can do something immediately and know that's all in your control. I'm going to help you decide today with absolute confidence, right? You're going to have confidence in making a decision right now, and I'll tell you why. I created something to make it simple for you. I call it love it or leave, right? Here's how it works. Come to Empire Mastery, right? Get access to everything right away. Then whenever you can, you come to Empire Mastery. If after attending day 1 of Empire Mastery alone, you don't think that day 1 of Empire Mastery is worth your entire investment, then tell the team before you leave that day and they'll give you a full refund. No bullshit, no BS, no hassle, nothing. So you attend the first full day. If you don't think that in itself is worth it alone, just let the team know. Who thinks that actually sounds fair enough? Can you show how that actually sounds fair enough? That's probably the best you can make it, is that you can make a decision now with confidence, knowing you've got that in your corner as well. So let me ask you a question. Who's here because they want more? Give me a show of hands if you're here because you want more, right? If you see something that you want more, I want you to raise your hand up. And in fact, I want you to stand up if you're here because you want more time. Stand up. You want more time? Who's here because you want more time? Stand up. I want to see. Okay, stand up if you're here because you want more money. Money and time. Stand up. Let me see. Stand up. Stand up if you're here because you want more choice. Who's here for more choice? Stand up if you're here for choice. Stand up because you want more connection. More connection with others around you, more connection with your friends and family, more connection with those around. Stand up here because you want more healing. You want to grow. You want to be happier, right? Stand up here if you want more energy, more connection, right? Right? Stand up if you're here because more time, more money, more choice, more connection, more healing, more freedom. Stand up if you're here for that. If you're here for any of those, I want you to stand up and remain standing for a second. If you're here for any of those things, and look around. That's what we want. Right? What stands in the way is us not just doing the stuff we need to do to get there. So while you're standing up, listen to this. If not this, then what? Right? No one else teaches it. If not now, then how long are you going to wait for? 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years? And if not you, then who? No one's going to come save you. This is your time to say, this is the time to do something. So while you're standing up, listen to this, Sydney. I'm going to do something for you. I've given you tons of stuff. It looks like this. Everything. I'm going to teach you personally for 4 days to do it. I'm the only person that teaches in Australia that's done it, and give you all the bonuses you need to make this work, right? And that's worth what, $37,000, $35,000? So here's the deal for you while you're standing up, right? I'm going to do something for you today to do this, right? You're going to be able to do this for one investment only of either $5,995 as just a one-off, including GST for absolutely everything, or if you need, there's a payment plan available at the tables as well. There's a table at the back over there and over at the side. So you can get a payment plan, or you can go do it in full, and that includes GST, $5,995, that's it. So head to the tables now and do that. And one more bonus because you're standing up, because I'm feeling kind of generous. Here's the last thing for you. An extra greatness, because why not work greatness? Bonus for you is the first 50 to go to the back and the side now are actually going to get an extra ticket for a friend to come to Empire Mastery with them, an extra ticket for a friend or business partner, which is worth, for free, which is worth another $10,000, and that's only for the first 50. So head to the back now, back over there, go ahead now, over there, and also to the side over there. Go ahead now. The first 50, I've got you covered for that as well. So it looks like this. You're going to get 2-for-1 tickets. You're going to get all the bonuses, which is worth $45,000. All of that. And that's $5,995. All there's payment plans at the table too. So at the back or at the side over there. Head to the side, head to the back, go do that now. And I've got 50 of the double tickets there. So here's what we're going to do. I have Sydney, I put 10 minutes on the clock. You can head over there now too, because that table's pretty full. Head over there. I've got 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, Lewis and I are going to be on stage hanging out. So go and head to the back, scan the QR code, get started now. You need to get your VIP pack so I can hang out with you tonight. I'm going to head to the back. I'll see you guys there. I'm going to be back on stage to share one more thing with you, and then Lewis is coming up right after this. So head to the back, head to the side. You've got 10 minutes. The offer stands for 10 minutes.